Good evening, everybody. It is 7:30 and it is Tuesday, the 7th of December. I'm coming to you a day early this week because I'm going to be in London tomorrow. All sort of businessy, networky, partying kind of thing. So only realised that at the weekend. And I thought, oh, hang on a minute. I can't do Waffle Wednesday because I'm not going to be here. So I thought I'd bring it forward to Tuesday. And if no one can join me live, that's fine. I can always put it in the guide, which I do anyway. But 4 people are here. Fabulous. 4 people are here. If you are here, please say hello. I do like it when people say hello to me. I'm not all knobby no mates, you know. I'm still suffering rather in my very opera diva dramatic kind of way with a hello, Charlene. Hello, lovely. So apologies in advance if I start to cough horrifically. Hi, Verity. Hi, Kim. Hi, Nicola. Oh, people are here. That's fabulous. Yes, I've got one of those coughs. You know that it's sort of okay during the day and then you hit your pillow at night and it's going, no, you must cough all night. You must not get a wink of sleep. You must cough and cough. So yes, so I'm suffering a bit from that at the moment, but I've got my tea, so I'll be all right this evening. And I've got my tissues. And I think my cat is around somewhere. So if suddenly we get launched at, because the windowsill is just there, you see. So excuse me in advance if I get jumped on by a black cat. Anyway, right, what am I going to talk about this evening? I'm not going to waffle on too much in case my voice completely disappears. I'm going to talk a little bit about social media audiences, hot branding. Yes, I swear by honey, Verity, yes, but yeah, hot brandy. I might try that later. I might still have a cough, but I won't care as much, will I? Thank you for that, my lovely. Thank you. Yes, we're talking about social media this evening. What I'm going to tell you this evening are 7 tips. I do like doing numbers, don't I? 10 tips or 7 tips. Or whatever. So 7 tips or things that you need to think about when you're sorting out your social media, which are likely to help you grow your audience a bit more. Now, I've also written a blog on this. In fact, I wrote it back in April, but into the Home Baking Business Community Group, I think I've scheduled it for 8 o'clock, is a link to that blog. So everything I'm telling you now will be written down in there, so you'll be able to see that. Okie dokie. So what are the 7 things that I've written down that I think are fairly important? Number one, I'm always talking about this. It's knowing who your ideal client is. Now, ideal client is a very big thing in business. All the big companies and corporations know exactly who their ideal clients are. And in fact, if you look on various websites like Marks and Spencer's and, you know, all those types, if you dig down deep enough into their websites, you will find, you know, what their ideal clients are, where they shop other than Marks and Spencer's, where they go on holiday, what kind of families they have, all those kind of things they know, so that they can pinpoint where they advertise and how they advertise. So you have to think a little bit about that. You have to think about how you're presenting your goods and your products. Is the type of person that's going to buy it going to be seeing it? Are you on the right platforms, the social media platforms? I just do Instagram and Facebook. And Pinterest as well. I do although that's slightly different kettle of fish, Pinterest. I don't do TikTok, because I haven't got time to learn how to do it. But for another reason is my ideal client just isn't on TikTok, because I'm wedding cakes. You know, I'm talking sort of generally sort of 30-ish year old brides, couples. On the whole, they're not on TikTok, those people, I found. But they are on Instagram, and most of them look on Pinterest for ideas for wedding cakes as well. So that's where I focus my attention. I try and do more Instagram reels, because reels are being very much promoted at the moment. So doing sort of live things, particularly with your face as well. We'll come on to that in a minute. So think about who your ideal customer is and where they are looking. For example, this is a bit of a crass example, but I've exaggerated it. So for example, if you specialized in old-fashioned fruit cakes, and your ideal client were generally the older generation, you wouldn't, for example, spend a lot of your time on TikTok, because they're not going to be anywhere near that place. Okay, a bit of a crass example, but hopefully, it gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. Only spend time on places where your audience are likely to be. Ooh, hear that? It's a helicopter outside. Oh, how exciting. So that's the first thing you've got to think about. Are the people that buy your things, your products, are they are they mums of small children? Are they families that have lots, big families with lots of birthdays? What kind of places are they going to look for things? Are they going to be, when they're sitting down late at night and scrolling through, where are they going to be? Are they going to be on Instagram? Are they going to be on Facebook? Are they going to be in Facebook groups, in local Facebook groups? Is that where you're going to find them? So think about where they are, and you need to go to where they are, because they're not going to come to you. You can't tune in as what? Oh, oh dear, that's a shame. Never mind. Oh, hi, Alex. Watch back as soon as. Oh, never mind. It'll be in the guides section for you, so it'll be there for you to watch. Okay. So that's the first thing you need to think about. The second thing I would say is, don't sell in every single post that you post. So you want to avoid just doing, here are my brownies. They are £5 for however many. Contact me here to buy, every day. Do that every day, and it becomes a bit of white noise for people. First of all, it's all very the same. And secondly, it means that they're not getting to know you. There's a big thing in business about the know, like, and trust factor. If people know you and feel that they like you, they're more likely to trust you, and people will buy from people that they trust. Okay, it's, you would buy from your friends, wouldn't you, if they had things for sale, because you know them, you generally like them, generally your friends, and hopefully your friends, you trust them. So you've got to build up a presence on your social media where people can get to know you a little bit. So don't make every post a sale post. Talk about things that you're comfortable talking about. It could be about your family. It could be about pets. Pets is a brilliant one. I talk about my cats all the time. Talk about, going out for a walk, look at the sky, look at the, it doesn't matter that it's not directly connected with your baking. That doesn't matter. What you are doing, though, is you're making a connection with your audience. I took a picture the other day. I was in a venue and they had a lovely Christmas tree, beautiful, great big Christmas tree. And I just took a picture of that, said, look at this beautiful Christmas tree. And people were saying, oh, yes, that's lovely. Oh, I've got one similar, or, and people will engage with that kind of thing. So think about the different things that you can talk about. So think about know, like, and trust. Are people getting to know you? Do you respond to them when they engage with you? We'll come to that in a minute as well. And if you can go direct, with your face in reels and things, even better. I don't do that much. I should do it more, but I don't. Mainly because I look like this normally, and it's, but if you can actually physically talk in a reel, or, chat to your audience. Oh, here I am, I'm shopping today, and look at all this and look at all that. They will feel that you are talking to them, and they will get to know you. So it's a really valuable thing to do on your social media. Number 3. So I've got my notes up here, which is why I'm looking here. Number 3, post regularly, or to be more accurate, you need to say post consistently. We all know about the algorithms, Facebook and its pesky algorithms. Facebook likes it, and Instagram too, Facebook perhaps more, like it if you are consistent. So if you're going to post every day, and Facebook will then show it to more people. If you're going to do a mad posting for 2 weeks, and then not post anymore, you know, occasionally on a Thursday or a whatever, then Facebook go, oh, hang on a minute, perhaps we won't show your things to everybody then. Okay. Whereas if, for example, you think every day I can't possibly do, I could do perhaps one on a Monday, one on a Thursday, and one on a Sunday. But if you do that consistently, then Facebook like that. They like the consistency of it. So even if you aim for something like that, it's better than going completely mad for 2 weeks and then doing nothing at all. Okay, because it's all to do with the algorithm. It's all to do with getting you seen. All right. If you find that you find it tricky to, oh, I haven't got any time this morning to post anything, I've got to get straight up and at it, you know, whatever, think about using a scheduler. I use Facebook Creator Studio, which links Instagram and Facebook. You have to tell your Instagram account about your Facebook, and there's a way to link it all up. I won't go into it now because mainly I can't remember and it'll take too long. But there are ways of doing it. If you get stuck, ask in the group because someone will help you. But Facebook Creator Studio is a way of like pre-scheduling things. So if I know I've got a busy week, you know, like last week I had, I had 2 quite big wedding cakes to do where I was having to do early mornings and I wasn't going to have time to post anything. So the couple of days before, I just, you know, put up some posts and timed them to appear on Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Saturday morning. So you can do those kind of things in your, you know, your less busy times. I sometimes do it when I'm watching TV at night and I'll have my laptop on my lap and I'll just sort of post while I'm watching TV. It's quite relaxed doing it that way, you know. So try and get a schedule going. And another way you can get yourself into some kind of routine, and I'm going to share a screen now because I'm going to share something that I sent out to my email list, which is the, hang on, where is it? There it is. There it is. The social media. This is really basic. But if you can do something like this and just jot some notes down for each month, it will really help you. When I started doing this regularly, it did enough free up a lot of thinking time because I'd done all the thinking before and I didn't have to then do daily thinking, if you like. So one thing you can do here is you can, hang on, where are we? There it is. So are you going to have a regular post that you do perhaps every week? So, you know, Top Tip Tuesday. Tell your audience about, you know, some baking wizardry that you do. I do a Throwback Thursday, which is really easy because I just repurpose stuff I've already put up. And that's another thing you can do. Repurpose old things because not everyone will have seen it. We'll come to that in a minute. And then I've been doing, for my wedding cake, I've been doing my dictionary on Monday. So Mondays would be my Leading Lady Cakes dictionary day. So if you have those regular things and at the beginning of the month, you sort of plan out what you're going to put in those, it saves an awful lot of time. Yeah. Half an hour or an hour doing that at the beginning of the month saves you an awful lot of thinking time during the month. And then also on the social media planner, I've put a section here which says this month's events. So jot down things that are happening this month. I mean, obviously December is Christmas, but are you doing a Christmas fair? So if you were, I don't know, if you were doing a fair on the 17th, you'd want to, you know, by the 10th, you'd want to start telling people exactly where it is and when it is and are you going and all that, or what, you know, however much in advance. Are there, you know, special, you know, those national awareness days that you can mark? We've just had, I think, National Cookie Day. There's all sorts of national, you know, National Brownie Day. There's National Biscuit Day. There's National whatever day. So if you can jot some of those down and make sure you get something in on those days, that's even better. And then the second half here is just a schedule which you can use to jot down. So yeah, so the first of the month, second of the month, third of the month, and so on. Are you going to post something? Are you going to do a reel of something? Are you going to post a story of something? Obviously, you don't have to do all three. And some of them it can be the same thing, but made into, the three things. I often do reels and then repurpose them as stories, that kind of thing. But just jot down here what it is you're going to do. Okay. So I know that if I'm doing a wedding cake, for example, on the 6th, I know that I'll leave it a day, but on the 8th, I can then put up a picture of that wedding cake and do something about, so that's what I'll program into my schedule. I'll make sure that I've got room to post that and I have a picture ready to go. Okay. So that, I mean, it's very basic, but it's amazing how much something like that will help get yourself organized and get your brain in gear a little bit. If you don't sign up to my email, the link that's going out in the group at 8 o'clock has a link for you to get that if you want it. So, just pop yourself on the list and you'll get one of those. Okay. Yes, I love having things planned out in advance too, Verity. Yes, absolutely. It just makes you feel as if you're a bit more in control of things. It's very easy in this business, isn't it, to feel like you're running around like a headless chicken and you're not in control of anything. But if you can get that sorted out, I mean, I've got a big wall chart here of all my weddings with dots on and things. And I love that. It just makes me feel like I'm organized and in control. So yeah, so either sign up for mine or make your own, get yourself organized. There we are. All right. So that's, where are we? That was on number 3, post regularly, post consistently. Excuse me. My 4th tip of 7, I did say 7, didn't I? Yeah. My 4th tip of 7. This may sound obvious, but make things look as good as you can. Obviously, if you're doing this is me in my kitchen, then you don't, you're doing me making things, then you don't need to worry so much, particularly, and I've seen these and these work really well. If something breaks or if you've dropped an egg or if something's, gone over in the oven or something, taking pictures of that and popping those up are brilliant. People love those. And you get lots of engagement with those. But when you're talking about your final product, the one that you want your audience to imagine they're buying, if you like, you want it to look good. So think about backgrounds, think about lighting, think about, so there's no shadows. And then once you've taken the photo, it's absolutely perfectly all right to edit it. I'm not necessarily talking about, photoshopping it and, blotting out blemishes and things like that, but just enhance the color, perhaps pick up the exposure a little bit if it's a bit dark, so that people can really see it. Okay. And make it bigger. You can use Canva to really tart it up. I love Canva. If you've not come across Canva, you've got a treat in store. You can get onto Canva. It doesn't have to cost you anything. I pay something like £10-11 a month. I get the extras. I get various bits that you don't get if you just get the free one. But the free one does allow you to put your photos up. It allows you to put your logos on. It allows you to do borders. It allows you to do all sorts of things. And if you do some of those, it just sort of adds a sort of professional thing to your products. When I put my wedding cakes on Instagram, what I generally do is put the cake in a border, put my logo at the top, Leading Lady Cakes at the bottom, and then in the background, I put the cake, but I fade it a little bit. So you get the sort of a close-up of the cake in the background. Look on my Instagram for Leading Lady Cakes and you'll see how I do it, which works quite well because it looks quite eye-catching and it looks as if I've, spent time thinking about it, which I haven't spent as much time as perhaps it looks as if I have, because I've got it down to a T now, how I can do it. So think about what your products look like. Flat lays are really good if your products, are good for that. And a flat lay is where you have the camera above and you're looking down. So if you're talking cookies and brownies and things, you can, lay your cookies and your brownies, perhaps have a wooden spoon or a something or other, to make it and have it on a background, perhaps even just a wooden table or a kitchen worktop would be brilliant. So flat lays, if you're not sure, Google baking flat lays and you'll see the idea. They do look quite good and quite professional, those. Okay. I know some people have photographic backgrounds. I've got one. It's enormous. I have it on a roll. You can just use sort of A4 paper. Some people use sheets. I saw someone in the group, I can't remember who it was, but they bought one of those Christmas bags, gift bags. Hello, Facebook user. They bought one of those Christmas gift bags, and they'd use that as a background, which is genius, I think, because those big cardboard, those cardboard paper bag things, they'll stand up as well. So it's an ideal backdrop, particularly for Christmas things. So think about how your photos look. Number 5. Oh yes, number 5. Particularly on Instagram, using hashtags. Now, hashtags, yes, Kim, you saw it too. It did look good, didn't it? It looked very effective. So hashtags. On Instagram, I believe you can have up to 30 hashtags. So think about the ones that you're using. You can find Google hashtag generators, and it'll ask you to put in what your post is about, and it'll give you ideas for hashtags. The other thing that you can do, which I don't do enough and I should do more of, is go to the Instagram accounts that my ideal client will go to. So, for example, for brides, I need to go to, wedding florist accounts or venue accounts or things like Hitched and Bridebook, those directories, and then see what kind of hashtags they are using, because you want to get in on those hashtags. Okay. Ideally, you want to have, and this is something I've been told, so I take it on good authority by Instagram experts, that you want some hashtags that have large numbers of posts. So when you put them up, it'll say, 100k plus posts, doesn't it? So you want some of those, and then you want some that are like 10,000k plus posts, 1,000. So mix them up, the amounts that you have. And also don't just copy and paste the same hashtags on each post. Try and mix them up. Instagram and Facebook don't really do the hashtags as much. But Instagram, anything that's just replicated, Instagram doesn't like. It starts to think you're a bot or spam. So what I've done, I've got an Excel spreadsheet and I've got different sort of blocks of hashtags for slightly different things, and I just copy and paste them. So I haven't got to, refine them every time. I just think, oh yeah, that post needs those hashtags. So I just copy and paste them in, which is quite useful. So have them stored somewhere and then sort of refresh them every so often to put some new ones and different ones in. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, number 6. Here we are, nearly at the end. Number 6. Talked about algorithms a lot. You've got to think about algorithms. Now, unfortunately, if, for example, you've got 500 followers on your Instagram and you post something, there's nowhere near all your 500 followers are going to see that post. Sometimes you might only find that 10 of them see it. Sometimes you might find that 200 of them see it. Not all of your followers will see all of your posts all the time. Some of that depends on when you post. So you've got to, and here we come back to our ideal client again, think about the times that your ideal client is scrolling on their phones. Okay. If, for example, you're talking, so my ideal client are often people who work, and brides particularly, I hone in on. They will have a lunchtime between sort of 12 and 1. So often I'll post things up so that it's on their their scroll when they go on at lunchtime. If your ideal client has young children, hopefully by 9 o'clock they've put them to bed, and that's when they sit down and they start scrolling. So post then. I often post early in the morning to catch the people that go to work. They're up and they're having their breakfast and they're scrolling through as they're having their breakfast. So think about when it is that your ideal client is actually scrolling through their phone. Okay. And also think about, I post at 7 in the morning. Anyone scrolling in the evening isn't going to see that post because it's gone. It's gone up the scroll. It's disappeared. Okay. So if it's something really important that I want people to see, I'll post it again in the evening. Don't worry necessarily about posting the same thing a couple of times, because the chances of the same people seeing that same thing are very slim. You'll get more of your audience in and looking the more that you post. And if you use a scheduler, it's just easy. Just copy and paste what you've written for one and schedule it for another time. So it's quite straightforward. So think about that. That's quite important when you scroll, and the fact that not everybody sees everything, and repurposing. So I often say my throwback Thursday is wedding cakes that I've put on a couple of months before. So not everyone will have seen it, and if people have seen it, they'll go, oh yeah, I like that one, that was a nice one, that one, which is lovely, or blog posts. I do lots of blogging. I do lots of blog posts, and I'll just put up, oh, you might have missed this blog post from last week. What's the name of the scheduler? It's called Facebook Creator Studio. What I will do, my lovely, I'll just jot this down because I've got a brain like a sieve. I will pop the link up in the group. Facebook Creator Studio. Yeah, I'll pop it up in the group for you. So where was that? Yes. So, and algorithms. And the other thing with algorithms, we come on to now my seventh handy tip, which is probably the most important one, really, and it's the call to action. A call to action. When I first started on this social media lark, whenever it was, I had no idea what they were talking about when they said call to action. Basically, a call to action is when you're basically telling the person reading it to do something. So click on this link. Is the sort of the basic one. Go to my website. And other ones, you just want to get engagement on your post. The more people that engage with your post, the more that Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whoever it is going to then show it to other people. Okay, that's the key. So if you put a picture of your brownies up, don't just put a picture of your brownies up and say, I made some brownies. You want to put a picture of your brownies up and say, who loves brownies? Put an emoji in the comments. Or brownies or blondies, and then do a little poll. Anything to get people, talking on your feed, on your posts. Okay. And similarly, if someone does comment, reply to their comment. Okay, because that people really like that. If you've commented on someone's post and that person then replies, even if it's just, oh, thank you, that was really nice for you to say, then you think, oh, well, they've actually read that. That's really nice. Not just double tapping. We're not just talking hearts here. We're talking actual, writing a little something. And that's another way to get followers, actually. If you find out who your ideal client follows, follow them, make some really, interesting comments on some posts, and you'll find you'll get followers. Okay. If you comment on so many a day, a percentage of those will then follow you. So that's a good way. I could talk for hours about that, and I haven't got time now. But that's basically a good way of doing it. So the more you interact on Instagram, the more you engage in other people's posts, the more likely you are to then get more followers yourself. Okay, so it's all to do with communicating and talking and engaging. If you're doing stories, that little poll thing, I've started doing that on Fridays, where I've put 2 wedding cakes up, this one or that one, and it's just simple because people can then just tap with their finger, but they've engaged with it. It's really simple. So put up a brownie and a cookie. What do you want today, a brownie or a cookie? What would you fancy today? That kind of thing really gets the algorithm going. And it's good for you as well. If you've seen that, you've had 5, 10, 15, 20, however many comments on one of your posts, you think, oh, this is great, doing well. It's great for the confidence. Nothing worse than putting up a post and you don't get one like and no one's commented on it, and it like tumbleweed. We all get those. But be persistent. My 3 words that I like the best: determination, perseverance, and resilience. If you can show all those 3 in your social media, and just keep going at it and be consistent, and engage and get people to engage, then that way you'll get a bigger audience. Your audience will know, like, and trust you, and they're more likely to buy from you or recommend you to others. Obviously everyone that sees my Instagram, not everyone's going to want a wedding cake by any means. But when they do want a wedding cake, or they know someone who wants a wedding cake, oh yeah, go to Leading Lady Cakes. I'll see her on Instagram. It's a way to get your name out. Bill yourself as, I don't know, the brownie lady or the cookie lady or whatever it is, and get people to refer to you as that, or use your name, your business name, all the time, so that people start to recognize you as the person who makes this, that, and the other, and they can recommend you. And it all sort of spiders out. Someone who knows someone who knows someone will then recommend you. So that's the way to spread your word, spread your good across. So there we are. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Oh yeah, just very quickly, I've sort of alluded to this, but the number of followers you have isn't as important as the number of engaged followers you have. I've had a couple of emails in the last month or so from companies saying, oh, I can, do you want to buy some followers? I can sell you 1,000 followers. And I'm thinking, what on earth is the point of that? Absolutely no point at all. The number of followers you have is often what's known as a vanity metric. I've got 1,000 followers. Look at me. But there's no point in having 1,000 followers if none of those followers actually talk to you or engage in what you do. I'd rather have 100 followers who talk all the time and engage and like and chat than have 1,000 followers that did nothing at all. It's pointless. No point in having them. So it's really your job is to get all the followers that you have chatting and engaged. Get them interested in what you do and get them engaged, and that way it'll build the momentum in your what you do in your business, in your brand. There we go. So there we are. So those are my 7 tips on social media. You will find that in the blog post that I've posted a link to in the group. I will put this in the guides section as well, so you can look back on it if you wish to. But thank you for joining me a day early. Oh, good. I'm glad it was helpful, Shelley. I'm glad it was helpful. Yes, I'm now thinking it's Wednesday, and I'm very... I'm easily confused at the best of times. We know that. But yes, I hope that's been useful. Do let us know how it goes. Try some things out. Try some things. Let us know in the group how things have gone. It's all been so... Oh, great. Thank you. Yes, Yeah, do try things out and just let us know. Let us know in the group, how things have gone. If anyone's got some brilliant ideas for things that they post them in the group. I might start doing that actually, because I've got some. Thank you. Nice to see your face. Right. My rather coldy face, and with this sort of yucky eye infection as well, which doesn't help. But yeah. But it is what I was saying about, actually seeing somebody and if I just wrote all this in a post, most people in the group would go, oh yeah, all right. But because I'm actually talking to you and sort of smiling and laughing and, responding to what you're saying, you're much more likely to take it on board. So that's sort of a case in point, if you like. So do that on your social media. All right. Okie dokie. And Verity, I will put the link for the Facebook Creator Studio in the group. All right, then. So have a lovely week. Next week, I'm going to talk about planning for 2022, which you might find useful. So some ideas about how to sort of get an overview and to, know where your business is going, using the planners that I've emailed out as well. So that will be next week. I will have a great day in London. I'm going to have a great time. I've got a new dress, new shoes, new handbag, everything. I've gone a bit mad. I'll try and remember to take some photos and let you know how it goes. But I'm very excited. You see, as you can see, I don't get out much. But yes, up the smoke for a party. Doesn't often happen to Annie, but there we go. Righty ho. Have a lovely week, my lovelies. And I will see you next Wednesday. So we're back to Wednesday next week. All right, then. You take care and I'll see you soon. All right. Bye.